And we are live with the number 19th edition of SEC Tavern Talk. Today's going to be more of a collaboration because we've got a couple of guys from the Reformed uh, Tomahawk to discuss a little Braves baseball. And if you live in the South, you have to like the Braves. I'm sorry, but you have to. You have no choice.
Requirement.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't make the rules. They just exist. And we have a special guest today, and his name is Ashton Clark. Ashton, why don't you tell us about yourself?
What's up, y'all? I'm Ashton. All right.
All right, yeah, we're going to talk a little college baseball today, and then we'll get into some Brave stuff. The College World Series is coming up. The Super Regionals are still going on. Johnny Mack is here, and
what up?
His team is not in it.
Neither is Rob's.
Justin is here, and his team is not in it.
Nope.
His team did not even make it to the SEC tournament.
We lost. We were 7-23, I think, in conference play.
It's okay. They always have football.
How is that even possible? My gosh. 7-23.
It's the SEC. That's how it's possible.
We went like 20.
No, that's not a record. That's a birthday.
Yeah, we went like 30-3 with out of conference play. That's ridiculous.
And I gotta say, Rob is here, and his team was in it, and they lost their own regional against Florida State.
Because they're terrible.
Sorry. That. And yeah, he's not bitter at all. I'm excited to talk about the College World Series. But I do want to. The last time we were on here, we had not. There's something that did happen since then. None of us are Auburn fans, but I will give them credit where credit is due. They did make it to the Final Four for the first time ever. They didn't win it. Some might say that they got screwed on a call, but I don't care. I was happy to see Virginia to win it because they needed some redemption after last year.
Yeah, it was ironic they were complaining about a call in the Final Four when they got plenty of gay calls throughout the tournament leading up to that point.
Hey.
But yeah, let's talk about the one game they get screwed on.
Okay. Speaking of being not bitter about anything, which Rob is about every sport that he watches.
Passionate. It's called
passionate. Okay. But anyway, I did like seeing Virginia win it all because I won over like $240 for that. It was kind of nice. So yeah, it's all good.
Where's my cut?
Okay. I don't know if I told y'all, but I entered in a bracket pool and I didn't know it was for money. So I filled out 2 brackets because it was possible. They let me, and so I'm gonna do 2 brackets. I have 2 chances to win. And then the guy tells my wife, because it was my wife's coworker, and he tells her, he's like, JB owes me $40. Like, no, but it's okay.
So did you profit $240 or did you actually profit $200? Since you paid $40 in,
I profited $200.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Man, you just killed it.
Amazing. We have gambling, somebody calling something gay, and drinking. We're not even 5 minutes in.
I'm glad to have Ashton back. I love you.
Ashton's not 21. That's why he's saying that about alcohol.
That's true.
I'm saying that because we went from an E rating to like a M immediately.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Baseball. Baseball is in action. 3 of our teams made it to the tournament, and 2 of us are left in the Super Regionals. It's been fun to watch, and I say this all the time, man. If anybody who does not watch college baseball needs to give it a chance at this time of year because it is so freaking exciting.
Which is the only time that ESPN wants to televise it.
That's exactly right. And the thing is, they don't have pitchers that can paint the corners like in the majors, so you see balls bouncing everywhere. It's just crazy. Yeah, right, Ashton. What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah,
I think LSU is going all the way. Super excited. I also agree. This is the most exciting time of year for baseball fans because college is more fun than professional in every sport, but especially in baseball. It's not that the talent level is better or the coaching is better or anything like that. It's just more fun. It's like it means more to the players in a conference where it just means more. So it works out. It works out. And you really see that come through with the passion that the players play with and the emotion that you see in all the different rally caps and different traditions that each school has. And y'all, the rally possum is real in Baton Rouge.
The rally possum.
So
it is.
I am excited for what's coming. I started watching reruns of the games from our regional, and man, LSU's bats are popping. Our pitching is doing good enough. I think we're going all the way.
Well, I'm not going to argue there. LSU is a great ball club. You never can count LSU out of anything. And I got to say, watching Arkansas this year, all year long, we went to the national championship last year, and we were 1 out from winning the whole thing. And I've relived that moment over and over and over again. And it was a pop fly that we muffed. And we ended up losing that game and then losing the next game. So I'm still a little bit bitter about it. But watching this team all year long, I have said a few things to my buddy Aaron from Feel and Film podcast about Arkansas, about how it really scares me because this team looks better than last year's team. And I'm like, it scares me because I really don't want to get my hopes up because I've been an Arkansas fan for too long. If I'm not watching, yes, if I'm not watching track, I just don't expect us to win.
Yeah, just come over to the light side.
No,
it's nice. No. It's nice over here, man. We win baseball championships.
Where you get smoked by Alabama in football?
He does that anyway.
I'll do that anyway.
They get smoked by us as well. So,
true.
He can stay over there and cry, or he can come to the light side.
Hey, to be fair, Arkansas does pretty well against LSU. When we're not good, we end up sometimes giving them a run for their money and beating them for some stupid reason.
Yeah, it's insane.
They actually call that a rivalry.
Hey, beating someone for a stupid reason is still beating them. So
yeah, I know. Oh well, it's crazy. Like we could be 4-7, and we beat LSU at the end of the year.
Hey, that's like Alabama's baseball record.
Anyway, Ashton and I have been talking a lot. Johnny Mac, what's been going on with you, buddy? Have you been watching any baseball lately?
Man, I haven't had a chance to watch anything lately. It's just been crazy around here, and probably about a month and a half ago, house flooded, and then had to get whole new flooring, and just a whole bunch of stuff been going on. So I haven't had a chance to watch hardly anything.
It's all good. I've actually probably watched more things than I need to lately. It's no secret I'm a big comic book movie fan, and I've been overloaded with MCU movies and X-Men movies for the last few months. But anyway, so I keep wanting to call you Brian, but because that's your name on our chat.
Oh yeah.
Which no one else has any context on that.
No one has any context.
Well, that's my middle name.
Nope,
I mean, that'll help out too.
That's your middle name. Okay.
Yeah.
That does work out. We have nicknames on our Atlanta Braves chat. He's Brian Snitker, and I'm Alex. I can't pronounce my last name. And Rob is Liberty Media because he's he's the manager, and I'm the general manager, and Rob is the owner.
That's not what you named me, is it?
Yeah, you're Liberty Media.
Am I?
You can be Ted Turner if you want to be.
Dang, everybody hates you, Rob.
No.
That sucks.
I'd rather be Liberty Media than Ted Turner. I hate Ted Turner.
Oh man, that was when wrestling was good though. Ted Turner.
Nope, let's not even go there.
Okay.
When the Braves were actually good.
Okay.
When
If
the
you don't want to
Braves
go
were
there,
good.
can we go to Georgia baseball?
Oh, can we go to Georgia baseball? Do you
No,
want
we
us?
cannot.
Do you want us to read off the scores from Georgia baseball?
I can.
Because we can, but we won't because
From
we're
the SEC
not.
tournament, yes.
Oh, when they beat us, yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Well,
that's
no,
fine.
when they had a-
I'll
when they
read.
had a-
I'll read from the beginning of the SEC tournament to current.
No, we don't need to do that. We can. I mean, you can go over scores, but let's just move on and not make fun of each other's teams because I've been the butt of that joke for way too long. And so
quietly until
I'm
football
gonna take the high road into football season. You mean till
The pork butt.
The
till
high road, something Ashton doesn't know about.
what's South Carolina good at? Till
Yeah, nothing.
what season are we waiting for, buddy?
Golf, maybe.
No, Alabama's got golf.
Listen at you. I'm not going to make fun of anybody's team. Hey, South
Think
Carolina,
not-
what season are you even waiting for?
I'm sorry, man.
late
He's
season.
That's some low hanging fruit. You got onto me for making fun of Georgia. And then you're going
waiting
after
on
South
tailgating
Carolina.
season.
Oh man.
to be fair, we used to be rivalries with South Carolina, cross whatever division rivalries. So it was some.
Yeah, I mean, it's just rude.
It is rude. Okay, Ashton, talk about Georgia all you want to. Make fun of him. I don't care.
Awesome. Georgia sucks. I've said my piece.
Okay. I like it. Let's go over some scores.
My name is John McLeod, and I approve that message.
Hey, he does. He approves it.
Wow.
Um,
For Johnny Mack, Clemson sucks.
oh,
You got
there
that
you go.
right.
I lived in Georgia for 3 years growing up. So I don't hate Georgia. So let's go look at some scores for today. Super Regional started today.
Woo.
East Carolina got destroyed by Louisville in Louisville. And I know that Rob probably hates Louisville.
No, there's no probably.
Yeah, okay. I figured. And I'm not a big ACC fan. I was hoping East Carolina. Okay, I say this. I wanted East Carolina to win. I want all the underdogs to win and Arkansas to win. You know, because I want an easier road to the national championship. So anyway, I wanted East Carolina to win. And let's see, Texas Tech beat Oklahoma State. Give or take there, 8-6. I was hoping that OSU would win it because Texas Tech kind of scares me. They've got some bats. They always do. They did last year. And Michigan beat the number 1 seeded UCLA. And that just makes me happy. What do you think about all that, Ashton?
I think UCLA lost, which is always fun because they're commies.
There.
Okay. Louisville has a really solid baseball team. Either that or East Carolina is really awful and shouldn't be there. I can't decide which is true.
Look the latter.
Do you have the score for the Vandy game?
As of right now, it is 8-5 Duke in the top of the 8th. So Vandy has – I'm actually watching it right now. So Vandy has a couple of chances. We'll see.
Okay. And then what's the one I missed? I hit Michigan beating UCLA, Louisville.
OSU and Texas Tech.
Oh, yeah, the Big 12 game. I don't care about them. Then you have LSU hosting a super regional. Thank you, Georgia. Against Florida State. So pretty excited there. An unranked team coming to Baton Rouge to play a very hot LSU. I'm probably going to eat these words because that's the way the world works, but I'm thinking LSU is in a prime position to go to Omaha because Georgia is terrible. And they blew it against Florida State, which gave us an easier road to Omaha, which is exactly what JB is saying. So when Arkansas loses to an underdog, remember he's the one who said it. Back to you, JB.
To be fair, I said I want all the underdogs to lose except Arkansas.
To win.
What I want Arkansas to win because they're not the underdog. It's a 5 versus 12. Anyway.
I'm sorry, Rob. I think I bullied him out of the conversation.
Yeah, seriously, dude, that's just wrong, man. Like you do that to your friends.
You should see what I do to my enemies.
Justin, what do you think about the super regionals so far?
Man, I haven't got a chance to watch much baseball. I watched a little bit of the softball, but I'm with you guys. I mean, I saw on Facebook that we got 5 SEC teams in the super regionals, and that made history. And I think Arkansas. I actually think they have a good chance of making it all the way this year. And I always like Vandy making it all the way, even though they're down. Actually, just changed to 10-5.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, but I still like Vandy. And another team I would kind of kept an eye on is Texas Tech. I kind of like Texas Tech too, just respect them. We kind of have them on at work, and I see them play a little bit, and they got a good team. So I think my couple of teams I have picked would be Arkansas or Texas Tech on that.
I've got Arkansas picked, but I appreciate.
I got Alabama picked.
Look at this. Y'all are putting John to sleep.
Nah, I'm just resting my eyes for a second.
Yeah. That's what they all say when JB starts talking about Arkansas.
Hey, John's been working all day, and he's on Eastern time. Which,
That's right.
We're actually we're outnumbered today, Ashton. We have 3 Easterners and 2 Centrals.
That's okay. We have God on our side.
That's true. We do have
See,
God.
we
Hey,
get it
fast
first.
time's the right time.
Fast time.
See, y'all behind the times.
No, you guys are just.
Welcome
Hey,
back,
Rob.
Hey,
You guys are just trying to get ahead of yourself.
You missed it. I talked really good about Georgia.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He was complimenting them very well. I want to remind you that this is a Christian group, and we don't lie in here.
Says the
So-
gambler.
This is the gambler. Okay.
That's just called making money.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just.
work.
You should have
Yeah,
donated
dude.
all that money.
I really worked really hard for that, making those
Yeah.
picks. Like legit worked really hard, harder than I should have.
Oh, I believe you.
Actually, to be honest, I did 2 brackets, and the first one I worked really, really, really hard on. Thought really long and hard about it, and the second one I just went boom, 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 boom. That's the one I won.
Nice.
of course.
So
That's how
every
it
year,
goes.
that's exactly what I'm going to do.
I physically, I actually cannot do that. It just isn't in me. I have
What?
to think logically about my picks.
Yeah.
It's just in my nature as a basketball player. But
Yeah.
bites me in the butt. Sorry, my Wi-Fi kind of went out. I'm on my phone now.
I got you. All right. Let's
Well,
see.
all right
So-
then. Y'all killed the conversation talking about basketball.
All right, then. Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing wrong with basketball. SEC's coming around in basketball. I need to give the anyway. So tomorrow we've got some games going on.
Heck yeah, we do.
We do.
Oh,
we've
yeah.
we've got Louisville starting it off for us against East Carolina. Yeah, they are playing East Carolina again tomorrow at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, not 12. 11 o'clock Central Time for us people who are on real time.
Amen.
And Auburn is playing North Carolina at 11 o'clock. That game's on ESPN2. The first one I mentioned was on ESPNU. And Ole Miss is playing at Arkansas at 11 on ESPN. Yes, we had the premier game on the real ESPN, fellas. I just had to throw that out there.
At what time?
Okay, shut up. 11.
Yeah, prime time, man.
It's because we're playing a 12-seeded team. Let's see.
Wait,
Stanford.
what seed is Florida State?
That's true. Y'all are playing at night.
I hate you.
I love you too, Rob.
No, you aren't playing it now. You're playing it too. You're not playing primetime either. Vandy and UCLA are playing primetime because they're number 1 and number 2 in the.
I mean, that's
thing.
fine, but I'm not the one talking a whole bunch of trash about playing on primetime.
I said playing on the Prime channel is what I said.
Okay.
He did say that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Rob. I like Georgia. Stanford is playing Mississippi State at 2:00. This is part of it. I kind of root against the SEC this time of year because the SEC is good. And I don't want to play an SEC team in Omaha. I'm sorry. I don't want them to make it to Omaha. I want Stanford to beat Mississippi State. Florida State and LSU, they're playing at 2:00 on ESPN. I mean, coin flip. Florida State's really hot right now. LSU's really hot right now. I don't care who makes it. I mean, I'd like to see LSU.
I want to see
it there.
LSU because I like to see the SEC win.
I like
yeah.
you, John.
I would like to see LSU go there because
John's a cool cat. Go friend him on Facebook.
That's right.
Go friend John. He's
Hey,
got a cool.
Even I'm pulling for LSU, so you're on your own, JB.
No,
What'd you say?
I just said I would actually rather LSU win, but I'm saying as far as a team that I have to play against, it doesn't matter who we play against. They're both good. They're both hot right now. That was what I was saying. I would rather see LSU win over Florida State because I hate Florida State. I hate ACC. Y'all know that.
Way to backtrack there.
Yeah, I was backtracking. Y'all just misinterpreting me. Let's see. We got Texas Tech playing OSU again at 5:00 on ESPNU, and Vandy is playing Duke at 8:00 on ESPNU, and UCLA is playing Michigan at 8:00 on ESPN2.
Now, are these times Eastern or incorrect time?
They are on the correct standard time.
So my question is
CST.
I know. You'll have things on this side that'll say it's like, let's just say 9:00. It'll say 9 p.m. Eastern time, 10 p.m. Central. What does it say there? Does it show like Eastern?
The broadcasts are still the same. Yeah. Because all the stations and whatnot are in.
So it still says Eastern first, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
they save the best for last. Yeah.
Most of the stations are in New York, so if you want to brag about New York, go ahead and do that. I don't care. Ashton, I'm going to give it to you because I've got to go give my child some medicine. Why don't you talk about the
Georgia?
What's happening tomorrow with all these games? All right, I'll be back.
Yes. All right. So let's talk about what Georgia's doing tomorrow. They're going to be watching these games. Number one, first and foremost, of course, Louisville and East Carolina, I think was the first one.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right? I don't have it in front of me. So, all right. So who y'all got winning game 2 of the Louisville East Carolina game?
Louisville.
All right. That was uneventful. Let's move on. We have from there. Who's Mississippi State playing?
Arkansas.
No, that's Ole Miss.
Oh, my bad. You said, yeah. Mississippi State's playing Stanford.
Stanford. That's going to be a fun one. Who y'all got in game 1?
Mississippi State.
All right. What you say, John?
Mississippi State.
And Rob, you actually have an answer, so let's hear it.
Who is it? Mississippi State and who?
Stanford.
I'll pick Mississippi State on that one. But to go back, since you skipped me on the other game, I refused to pick Louisville, so I picked ECU.
Man, you're hurting your own record.
I don't care what my record is. I will not pick Louisville. I won't do it.
What's wrong with Louisville?
I despise Louisville.
He's a Kentucky fan.
Uh,
Yeah, I know. But we still love him, even with all his faults. Anywho, now that JB is gone, let's discuss the Arkansas Super Regional in Fayetteville. Who have we got there? Arkansas or Ole Miss?
I got Arkansas.
John?
Yeah, I'll say Arkansas for baseball. Yeah.
Rob?
That one's actually a tough one for me. If you had asked me like the beginning of the SEC tournament, I would have said Arkansas easily. But after seeing what Ole Miss did in the SEC tournament, they're better than I realized. So I do have to give them some credit. I can't just say like without a doubt. But JB made a good point to me, and although he's an Arkansas fan, he made this point in general, not just to the fact of Arkansas. The fact that going deep in the SEC tournament a lot of times hurts you because it kind of wears your team out. And as far as like your pitching goes deeper. And so I don't know. I think it's going to be a good game, a good matchup either way, but I'll pick Arkansas.
All right. Y'all are all
In a
boring.
close one.
All right. That's slightly less boring.
Hey, I gave you more than they did. They just said one word.
I know.
answer.
And they keep doing it. It's like they've never been on a podcast before.
Hey, I'm usually the one with the one-liners. I gave you an actual answer.
I
Come on.
know. And now you're the one with the witty banter back and forth.
Can I redo my answer then?
You've graduated. Do what?
No,
Can I redo
I'm
my
still
answer
thinking
then?
one-liners, but
I will allow it.
Okay, I hate Ole Miss because of the unspeakable thing they did to Alabama football a couple years ago. So
So
That's
2 years
why.
in a row.
well, we're not going to bring that up.
The Rebel Bearland Sharks.
But since I hate Ole Miss, that's why I'm picking Arkansas.
Not because Arkansas is the higher rated team.
No, because I just hate Ole Miss, and they don't
All
know
right,
what.
then.
And they're trans mascot.
Oh, man. The left just will not stop. They bring sharks and all into this.
Sharks and bears and
Rebels.
whatever. Yeah,
oh
rebels.
my. Oh my.
Yeah. So it's a terrible train wreck, as is this conversation. So let's move on to another pick. I don't really know who.
Hop off of here, man. I'm about to pass out.
John, it's been real and it's been fun, but it hadn't been real fun.
Well, that's right.
Peace out.
You have a
Johnny
good
boy.
night.
Y'all do the same. I'll holler at y'all later.
All right.
We'll see you in the tavern.
Yes, sir. See you there.
Hey, JB. We made some picks without you. We're not allowed to go back on those games, even for your answers, and those include Arkansas, Mississippi State, and Louisville.
He
Huh?
just did that because Arkansas was included in that.
It's all right. I'm picking Arkansas and Mississippi State and Louisville.
No, we don't care. We've already picked those. So let's
You
go
would've
on
liked
to
my
the
answer.
next game that we haven't picked. It was a train wreck of a conversation. I'm glad you're back.
I'm sorry that I was not able to share controls, so you had to look at Ashton the entire time.
Oh, man, that was awesome.
That was torture. That was torture.
What? Who knew?
Like,
Did I look good? Was it my good side?
There's something.
No.
There's something wrong with this. I can't share for some reason. But anyway, so yeah. So what are the picks now? Go ahead. I'll let you go from here.
No, man. I don't have it in front of me. I'm on a phone, so
We got Auburn
I was
and
trying to
UNC.
go from.
Who?
Auburn and UNC at noon. North Carolina at noon tomorrow.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Who you got, Justin? Since you got it going on,
Well,
I'm gonna guess you're not going to pick Auburn, are you?
no, I ain't doing that. I'll be pulling for North Carolina on that one. I can't do it. That's just not gonna happen.
See, I don't understand this. I can understand hating a team and not wanting them to win, but to say I don't expect them to win is
Okay,
like,
so,
that's
Ashton.
ridiculous.
Ashton, let me explain my pick from earlier.
All right, I'm listening. We can go back because you're not JV.
So yes, I am doing it out of the fact that I hate Louisville, but I don't know anything about ECU, so I don't
Okay,
know.
let me give you a fact about ECU. You ready? They lost 14-1 today to Louisville.
They did. They did.
Okay, and let me point out another fact. How many times does that happen in baseball, and then they turn around and lose?
100% today.
Huh?
That makes no sense.
They lost 100% of the time today.
That's not what I said. I said, how
Uh,
many times does that happen where a team gets beat that badly and then turns around and loses the next game?
Almost
That's
every other
baseball.
day.
Often.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's my point.
So
That gives me no information. One game gives me
well,
no information.
I will say, like, yeah, it comes down to pitching. Like, if they
Right.
had a pitcher that gave up one run today, well, they may only have one good pitcher, so you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
And so, yeah,
I mean, that's fair, but I think ECU burned through all of their pitchers. So,
How many did
probably
they actually use?
in a 14-run game, I'm saying 12.
12.
No.
I bet they used 5. Probably.
I think 4 or 5 is really probably a good guess.
Let's
Yeah.
see if
I
can
didn't
see
watch the game, but like
But you
All
know,
right.
if you're gonna 14,
Anyway,
they still have 2. They still have 2 starters. So anyway, Rob,
Justin made it. Okay, so in Auburn versus who was it?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay. Um,
What seed is North Carolina?
that is a good question. I would like to know that.
Real quick, Eastern Carolina or ECU actually had 7 pitchers.
7.
7.
My goodness. So
And
split the difference between 5 and 12.
And North Carolina is the number 1 seed, and Auburn is number 2.
Ooh, that doesn't make it easier.
Well, I mean, if you look at like the overall rankings, North Carolina is number 15,
Yeah, and Auburn should be unranked, huh?
and Auburn is unranked. So,
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, but aren't they hot right now?
yes,
they're incredibly hot right now.
they're incredibly hot. They beat was it Georgia Tech's regional that they won?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Georgia Tech was a top 8 team.
When you made the joke about who would I root for? A bomb on the stadium.
Yeah. That's right. I forgot.
So this one,
Rob, who you picking?
I promise this is a Christian show.
We're not as bad as never mind. I'm not gonna name a Christian show that. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, please. Please don't.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm not gonna. JB, who do you think I'm gonna pick? Let's just you and Ashton tell me who you think I'm gonna pick, and then I'll make my pick.
anybody but Auburn.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm saying you're not going to pick Auburn. If you're taking this long, I'm figuring you're not going to pick Auburn.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick Auburn. Reason being,
Oh,
I don't want to, but
Subverting expectations.
no. Well, I figured y'all would both say again, assume that I wouldn't. But the reason why is because I like to. It's a hot streak, man. I can't go against it too much. It's one thing to go against the hot streak in like like March Madness because that's such a random it's so hard to pick. Even a hot streak can end at any time. But in baseball, it's kind of different. When you get on a hot streak, you tend to just roll with it. And so that's why I would pick Auburn.
All right, then.
What are you thinking, buddy?
I am thinking Auburn all the way because they are in the best division of the best conference in the world. Brought down only by the likes of Alabama. So, yeah, it makes me really excited to see them do well because they're in our division, and I want them to do well. They're on a really good hot streak. They won a regional they weren't supposed to win. They're in a super they're not supposed to be in, and they're playing a team they're not supposed to play. which leads me to think they're going to win games they shouldn't win. And I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Can we just stop and take a deep breath and realize that the SEC West has 5 teams in super regionals? 5 out of 16.
Well, the only thing that's a shame is Arkansas has to play Ole Miss.
I know, right? Like we could have had 5 teams in the daggum in Omaha. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would have been really cool, but we can't do it now.
So yeah, the SEC West is freaking loaded. Auburn was unranked because they have to play the SEC West, and
as was Auburn.
You know the reason why there's not going to be 5 is because then other conferences would claim political correctness and say that it's not fair.
Dude,
but that's the beauty of the tournament.
Yeah, the beauty of the tournament is like, last year, Mississippi State was unranked and they made it all the way to Omaha. Like
right, but I'm saying as far as there being 5 of them and have 2 of them had to play each other.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it's hard to argue against it when Coastal Carolina wins a national title.
Yeah,
it's hard to argue that the system's rigged when they're in Omaha.
Yeah, baseball is the one system where the system is not rigged.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was rigged. I'm just saying like.
No, I'm saying that their argument that they would make isn't a good one. Like it's going to fall flat and on deaf ears.
Yeah, but I will say, last year they actually strategically tried to keep 2 SEC teams from going to the national championship, which happened 2 years ago, LSU versus Florida. Sorry to bring that up. Ashton.
Okay.
That did happen.
We did have to lose to an SEC team. If it had been anybody else, we would be the national champions. Similar to the 2011 season in football, we lost to an SEC team. If it had been anybody else, we'd be the national champions. So, I mean,
about to like candy and nuts.
I'll take our 6 titles and we'll be okay.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, last year when they came out with the top 8 rankings, number 1, number 4, number 5, and number 8 were all SEC teams. What's significant about those numbers? Well, those numbers are all on the same side of the bracket. they really tried to keep it from happening. But yeah, Mississippi State came out of nowhere and they ended up on the other side of the bracket and almost made it to the national championship. They beat Oregon State in the first game. And Oregon State ended up coming back and beat them, and I can relate to that. Anyway, I'm picking Auburn because they are, like everyone has said, they're on a hot streak. And, I mean, it's the SEC West. They're not ranked, but that doesn't mean they're not good. They are good. They're very good. And they just, like you said, they just won a regional that they should not have won. They went undefeated in that regional that they should not have won, by the way. Very few teams remained undefeated in the regionals. Arkansas's won, LSU's won. I don't know if any other teams went. Ole Miss, I think, did. What scares me, but anyway.
So let's talk about that. We already did make the Arkansas picks. I mean, actually, I didn't make my pick. I'm actually taking Ole Miss, but I want your thoughts on that.
Arkansas and Ole Miss.
Yes.
You would have liked my thoughts, actually. Give credit to me, Jeffrey, but
we have a lot of left-handed hitters, and Ole Miss has some really good left-handed pitchers. And that's what scares me. They have beaten us 3 out of 5 times this year, and two of those times were in Fayetteville. They beat us 2 out of 3 games in Fayetteville. That was earlier in the year. We weren't as good then as we are now. So that gives me a little bit of hope there. And I'm hoping that our freshman guys that have been coming up, I'm hoping they've got used to left-handed pitchers by now. So it scares me. Ole Miss is hot. They won the SEC tournament for the second year in a row. and they, just got out of their regional unscathed. And the lefty on lefty matchup kind of scares me, but I'm hoping that Van Horn has these guys ready. The guy's a veteran, man. Like Dave Van Horn is a future Hall of Famer in college baseball, and I've got to believe that he's got these boys ready for this, because last year was such a hurt and disappointment for everyone who was involved in it. You've got to believe that they've got some magic in them, and I'm really hoping that they do. This game, honestly, is really a toss up, but I will say it's really hard to beat a team 4 out of 6 times in their own stadium.
That's true.
I just they beat us 2 out of 3 before. I think it's going to be really hard for them to do it this time around, especially as we're both hot, but it's Baum Walker Stadium, man. That place is going to be hopping. This time of year, it's especially hopping.
Sure.
So I'm giving the edge to Arkansas because I've been in that environment, and I think it's a really hard place to win. That's the only home series that we lost this year was against Ole Miss. We don't lose home series. So
Right.
yeah, I think this time around I like our chances because, like I said, it's just the odds are against Ole Miss because of that, because they did beat us 2 out of 3 times earlier this year in a place that we don't lose. So the odds are against them, but that doesn't mean it doesn't scare the crap out of me. So there's my thoughts. I'm picking Arkansas. Of course.
All right, that's fair. What's the next game on tap, Justin?
We have LSU against Florida State at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Heck yeah.
Who you got, other J-Mac?
I'm actually gonna go with LSU on that. I just they've always been a predominantly good baseball team, and I don't really care for Florida State. So the only good thing I ever raised. So other than that, I'm just gonna go with LSU on that one.
Go Tigers.
All right, Rob, who you got?
So this is an interesting one because before Georgia blew it to Florida State, I didn't really know much about them. And then, JB, you were telling me a little bit about how they're just kind of getting hot at the right time. And so like the inclination there, based on my previous argument, is to pick them. But with that said, it's just hard to pick against LSU in this point of the season because this is their time of the year when they typically excel. Obviously last year they, got close, but I definitely think they're going to make it to Omaha, so I'm going with LSU.
All right, Ashton, who you got, buddy?
Florida State.
Well, I've got. I think LSU has a shot.
Oh my God.
Because they're at home against the team that shouldn't be there in Alex Box Stadium, the biggest college baseball stadium in the country, and the best. You can ask anybody.
Anybody in Louisiana?
You can ask anybody.
So,
yeah,
So you're picking
LSU.
LSU.
I'm picking LSU, and I really don't think it's going to be close. I think the first game maybe will be within 2 runs, but game 2 is going to be a runaway.
Okay. Well, let me just tell you what I'm looking at here.
All right, then.
I want LSU to win because I'm SEC and I have a respect for LSU. They were our rivalry for a while when we first came to the SEC. And I've never there was a point in my life where I hated LSU, but I've grown to just appreciate and respect them. It's kind of a friendly rivalry to me, basketball and baseball especially. But it's hard to bet against LSU because of the history that they have, the national championships that they've had, and like part of me says LSU has got this in the bag. But the Florida State coach, Mike Martin, is the all-time winningest coach in NCAA baseball history. Look it up. And
No, thank you.
Florida State is, out of all the teams that have – okay, this is a sad statistic, and Arkansas is on that list. Out of all the teams that have never won a College World Series, Florida State has been there the most. So, like, they want, and their coach, Mike Martin, who is the all-time winningest college baseball coach, is retiring at the end of this season. I have a gut feeling that these guys are going to play their butts off for this legendary coach. And like they just came out of a regional that they should not have won. The same reason we picked Auburn earlier. I feel like Florida State has got some magic in them because of their coach and because of their history. And I think they're hungry. I think they want it. I think it's going to come down to that. I think it's going to come down to who wants this more, and Florida State's going to win it. It'll probably get pushed to 3 games, but I think Florida State's going to win it. Sorry, Ashton. I like LSU. I want them to win it, but I don't think they're going to. So,
That's okay. Just a lot of flowery reasons to be wrong.
whatever. You're just mad because I brought stats to the table. What else have we got here, Justin? What's the next game on tap for tomorrow?
I'm not just mad, a little disappointed too.
Huh?
I'm not just mad, a little disappointed too. What's next, Justin?
At 6 p.m. we got Oklahoma State and Texas Tech, and at 9 p.m. we have UCLA against Michigan.
Did we already pick the Vandy game?
Vandy doesn't play tomorrow.
Yeah, they play.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. They play at 8 o'clock Central.
Let me see.
Anyway,
Okay. At any
Wait.
rate.
Texas Tech and Oklahoma State, 2 Big 12 teams that we don't even want to care to talk about. But who you got, Justin?
Man, that's actually a tough one because I know Oklahoma State has a really good baseball team, and I've been following. They just been playing on Fox Sports South throughout the day, so I've been watching Texas Tech a little bit. That's a toss-up for me. They both got good teams. I'm just going to have to go with Texas Tech on that one. That's just a toss-up.
Yeah. Rob, who you got?
I don't know. Who seeded what?
Texas Tech is a national seeded team. They are, let's see. Texas Tech is an 8 seed, and Oklahoma State's a 9 seed. Okay, there you go.
Wow.
So they're basically the same.
Yep. Oh, that didn't help.
No, that did not help at all. Yeah.
I'll go with Oklahoma State.
All right. Ashton, who you got?
Okay. The teams are very, very close. The score today revealed that. It was a 1 or 2 run game. So I think the difference is really going to come down to where the games are being played. And the fact that they're in Lubbock makes me want to say Texas Tech is going to take it. So I've got Texas Tech tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who won game 1?
Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because Texas Tech won game 1, I'm going to say that Oklahoma State's going to win game 2. But I do think Texas Tech's going to win the actual super regional.
So are we
because
picking just for tomorrow, or are we picking the whole series? Because we kind of been.
We've kind of been picking the whole series and then just talking about individual games.
yeah,
Okay.
I feel like I think we've been picking the whole series kind of. I think Oklahoma State wins tomorrow, but I think Texas Tech wins the whole thing. Not the whole thing, but the super regional.
Yeah.
They went to the to Omaha last year, and they were in with us in Florida and Texas, and they lost fairly early. I don't think they even won a game. No, they beat Florida in the opening round. So I think they may be hungry to get back there again. So I don't think Oklahoma State's gonna keep them from that. So anyway, what's our next
So
game? Huh?
I thought we were just picking based on tomorrow's game. If we're going for the series, then I'll pick Texas Tech as well.
Okay.
Okay.
That was I misunderstood, I guess, because y'all kept saying the times tomorrow, so it kind of threw me off.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That
Well,
makes sense.
all the teams are playing tomorrow, so we're going through all the
Right. Their game. This game 2 tomorrow, right? For all of us.
For
that one
some,
for some, yeah.
and then
Four,
for others, it's game 1.
yeah, four
Well, I
teams.
meant, but it's not the last game. Is my point.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Eight teams played yet today, and 16 teams will be playing tomorrow.
Right.
So yeah, half of them have played a game already.
Hmm.
Anyway, so we got Vandy versus Duke, which will probably, oh my gosh, 18-5 Duke. Bottom of the 8th. Is this game not over yet? I guess Duke just like went crazy on them.
Yeah, I mean, if Vandy can't get an out, the game will never end. So.
That's true. That is one thing we're gonna like sidebar here. That's one thing that I love about baseball, man. Like you've got to get 27 outs. Like
Yeah.
the game will not stop until you get 27 outs. Like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
There's
just
no clock. It's just keep playing.
exactly.
I
Well, there's
don't
a
care how
clock
ugly
now.
the scoreboard is.
I got a clock now,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
That's true. It's on pitch though, right? Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
20
yeah,
seconds, I think.
yeah. It's not on like the whole game though.
No.
Yeah,
Right.
they're not gonna call the game in the 7th inning. That's unless it rains out. You know, sometimes
Right.
they'll call it.
Yeah.
But like in football, they'll have a running clock in the second half or something. If it's like
Yeah.
150-0, no. In baseball, if it's 150-0, get out there. We've got 21 more outs to go.
And keep playing. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Justin, who you got in the Vandy Duke game? Duke is going to win today, pretty
Yeah.
handily. So who you got? It's in Vandy. We'll say that. And Vandy's the number 2 overall seed. So
I don't think you beat a team like Vanderbilt twice in a row like that, especially. Vanderbilt's a good team. The Braves got several picks. They got Kyle Wright and Dansby Swanson from Vanderbilt. They got a really good team. They've got a history of having a good team. I don't think Vandy goes down twice in a row like that. I think Vandy comes back with a win tomorrow, especially in Nashville.
yeah. Rob, who you got?
I'll pick Vandy. I think today was a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vandy's just. I did notice that when I was looking at Vandy as far as their pitching, they did have. I know at least one of their guys had a pretty high ERA. I don't know who pitched tonight, who started, but they're like you said, a lot of it depends on who's pitching. So, and then the thing, with the 14-1 and with the what'd you say is 18-5 now?
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of
18
times, when you get down early, a lot of times you just kind of get deflated, and it's easy to just kind of give up a lot more. So I don't.
Right.
put too
That's
much-
true.
I don't. That's why I don't put too much into one big win. If you consistently get beat, over and over by 10 or more runs, then okay, you just suck. But most teams are going to get beat by multiple runs at least once or twice a year. Now, I mean, I'm not making an argument for previous discussions. I'm just saying in general.
Right.
So I definitely think Vandy will win tomorrow, but I think I think they'll pull it out in the series.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. I think the series ends tomorrow.
Oh snap!
Yeah,
Wow.
it,
We
it
got
it looks like Duke is getting hot. I watched a little bit of this game, and Vandy was hitting out of this world. Like just beautiful at bats, beautiful pitch count, beautiful everything. They were getting 3-1 counts, 3-2 counts, driving the pitch count up. In the second inning, the Duke pitcher had a pitch count of 49 in the second inning. And even with that, they're going to win 18-5. I don't know how much more effort Vandy can put in. I don't know that there's anything left in the tank, and they pitched their Friday night guy tonight. So I don't think that Vandy has it in them. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm hoping I am, but I've got Duke winning the series tomorrow.
Well, I will say that I have not followed Vandy that much other than the series that they played against us. We did steal a game from them in Nashville. But I'm not sure as far as their pitchers goes. I know they got. I know their hitting lineup is freaking ridiculous. So I can't say whether or not they pitched their Friday starter because sometimes in these tournament situations they throw a different lineup in there. They usually do it in the regionals, not necessarily the super regionals. So I don't know, but you don't win 52 games in a year and not be better than 18-5. Like Vandy is better than that, guys. Like you don't win 52 games as an SEC team.
Oh, okay, that's fair. But I'm not saying that Vandy's a bad team. What I mean to say is Duke is playing that much better, right?
Yeah.
I think Duke is just that hot. I don't think Vandy's a bad team.
Yeah.
I don't agree with your pick, but that's a fair point.
Yeah. Duke is like hot right now. Yeah. I mean, it's. I still think Vandy gets it together tomorrow. Like you said, Rob, Duke just got deflated, or Vandy just got deflated. Like they allowed 10 runs in the 8th inning. Like
Right.
10 in the 8th inning after they had already lost the game pretty much. But it was close until then.
Hold on now. 10 runs in the 8th. That means that it was 8-5 coming into the 8th. That's a winnable game, a very winnable game. That's one swing of the bat.
Exactly. Yeah. So they allowed 10 runs in the 8th inning. That's why the game is so out of hand.
But I also want to say if Vandy pulls it off tomorrow, Game 3 is theirs.
Absolutely.
Right? Duke does not have it in them to win a Game 3. If it goes to a rubber match, Vandy has it.
Yeah. So I'm calling Vandy to win tomorrow and Vandy to win the series. Because like Ashton said, I don't think Duke's number 3 starter is as good as Vandy's number 3 starter.
No,
and
there's no way.
I don't think they have enough juice in them to beat a team like Vandy on a day 3. So yeah, I got Vandy in this. So anyway, last game for tomorrow, last series, we got Michigan playing UCLA again. Wait, is that right? Yeah. UCLA and Michigan. UCLA is the number 1 overall seed. However, Michigan, who won the Corvallis regional, and beat Oregon State, put them out, which makes me really happy because I do not like Oregon State at all, and I think everyone knows why.
He's not a big fan of the Cleavers.
The Cleavers, actually. Side note: my aunt, uncle, and 2 cousins are huge Oregon State Beavers fans because they live in Oregon. So last year,
it's a good reason.
We had some words between us. But anyway, it's all good. So Michigan comes in unranked. I think they're unranked to play the number 1 team in the country, UCLA, after just beating UCLA today. They're playing in Los Angeles. Justin, who you got tomorrow and who you got in the series?
I really don't like Michigan. I think UCLA has a pretty good ball team. I don't know much about Michigan, so I'm just gonna have to go out on a limb and say UCLA wins the next two.
Rob, who you got?
I don't really like either one of them, but I don't really. I also don't really know that much about Michigan, and as much as I would typically like to root for the underdog, I don't like either one of them, so it's kind of pointless. But and I also want to root against UCLA just because they got the number 1 seed over Vandy. But I'm just gonna go with which I thought Vandy should have gotten the number 1 overall seed, but they're relevant at this point. But I do think UCLA will win tomorrow, and carry that momentum to win the series.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm just gonna go with like what limited knowledge I have on that.
Right.
So
Ashton, who you got?
A few years ago, I was extremely disappointed because LSU had this historic season where they won like 52 or 53 games. It was amazing, and they were the number 1 seed in the country coming into their regional, and they lost to Stony Brook. So I started to realize something then. Not that LSU is a bad team, but that the number 1 seed carries with it so much pressure that there's an added weight to an already weighty game. We're in the super regionals. It's a big deal to even be there, especially when you have so much pressure on you. Everybody expects you to win it. So I think really that's what's happening to UCLA. I think the pressure is getting to them, and Michigan has nothing to lose. And I'm scared of teams that have nothing to lose. They can come out, and who cares if they lose? They lost to the number 1 seed in the country. On the flip side, UCLA has everything to lose, right? They're the number 1 seed in the country. So I think that being the case, and Michigan coming off a win, I think that carries them to a win tomorrow as well.
fair.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say last year, Florida defeated those odds, and they almost made it to the national championship. They went to they were in the Final Four. They were the 1 seed. They played Arkansas, and
well, I'm obviously not saying that it's undoable, right?
Right.
Like number 1 seeds get in all the time. I'm just saying that it's a really tough thing to do,
It's very
and there's
tough.
an added layer of pressure, and I don't think UCLA is going to do it this year.
Well, the difference between Florida being number 1 and UCLA being number 1 is Florida has been had been tested all year, and UCLA has not. We're just gonna throw that out there. The SEC is the best baseball conference. So UCLA, I saw them in their own regional last weekend, and they looked terrible. In the first game, they just made it through it, and they're squeak. Like they lost the first game in the regional against the 4 seed. You don't lose to a 4 seed in a regional, your own regional. They did, and then they ended up winning they had to win twice in 2 days to win the championship, but they made it by the skin of their daggum teeth. But because I watched that happen, I think that UCLA has got it coming to them. And I've been thinking that Michigan's going to be a dark horse in this thing the whole time. I thought Michigan – honestly, I was talking to somebody about Michigan in the Oregon State regional, and I was thinking, don't be surprised if Michigan comes out on top of this thing, because they got hot at the right time, and that's what matters in college baseball. If you get hot in the month of May – it carries over. So I think Michigan actually won the Big Ten tournament. So I mean that carries a lot of weight. Anyway,
and as Ashton said, Pac-12 sucks. Don't ever give them credit for anything.
Right. Words to live by.
You got me there. So I'm picking Michigan to win tomorrow and close out this series. I don't even think they're going to make it to a game 3. I think they're going to beat UCLA tomorrow and just be done. So anyway,
All right.
there's our picks.
So we have all the picks now. Who does everybody have winning the College World Series?
Ooh.
Don't all speak at once.
Justin, who you got?
I think it's an SEC team this year.
Shocker.
Man, that's hard, man. I really don't know. When it comes to baseball, I like pulling for Vanderbilt. But I also kind of feel like Mississippi State this year could go all the way. And also, I've been thinking this since last year too. Since Arkansas lost, I mean, with that pop fly that they dropped, they were 1 out away from winning the World Series. Not to bring up your hard times, but I mean, I think they're on a mission to prove something. I mean, I played baseball, and when you lose like that, I mean, your whole season you're on a mission to prove something. You're on a mission to get that back. I mean, to me, it's a toss up between them. I mean, there's a valid case for any SEC team. But I got either Mississippi State, Arkansas, or Vanderbilt.
Rob, who you got, broski?
I think that's a tough pick at this point till we actually get to Omaha. But I'm just gonna make someone in this group happy, and also which one is it? No,
Which who?
yeah. And because we know I'm not gonna make the other person happy because the team's not in it. Sorry, Justin.
It's all right.
But
Yours isn't either, Rob.
We always got golf.
That wasn't a dig at his team. It was more just like
It's fine.
we know it's obvious.
It's all in fun.
I'm gonna surprise Ashton and say LSU.
Oh snap!
Here's why. If you ask me who I'm rooting for at this point, I'm actually rooting for Arkansas. So I'll make both of you happy there. Like out of what's left, after seeing Georgia play Arkansas, like I really want to root for Arkansas. But LSU's history and just I don't know. I don't really know. There's just something about makes me want to pick them this year. But I don't really have a whole lot of like y'all follow college baseball a lot more than I do, so I don't have any necessarily like weight behind that pick. I'm just making a NCAA tournament guess, I guess, like a March Madness kind of guess.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that your heart wins and your head loses in that situation there. Ashton, I feel like this. I feel like this is going to be a split today.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So yeah, it really does feel like a special year for LSU. So obviously I'm pulling for them. I want them to, but and part of me feels like they will. But then there's the other part that says, that hadn't happened in 10 years. Don't get your hopes up. So, really, as much as I hate to say it, I'm scared of Texas Tech. I think that they are a real good baseball team. But my pick to win it all is either Arkansas or Mississippi State. I think that those two are the most complete teams out there, not named LSU, and I'm scared to pick LSU. I would much rather LSU won it, obviously, but I'm scared to pick them because as soon as I do, they'll lose. So,
Ashton, I'm kind of right there with you, man. I'm scared to pick Arkansas. I've been talking like I told you.
Are you going to pick LSU?
I've been talking to some friends all year long. Like this team really scares me because like they look so good. They look better than last year when they almost won it. And I'm like, something's got to be wrong. Like something's got to happen I can't pick them, man. I'm not going to pick them, and I'm not picking LSU either. Honestly, I don't think LSU is going to make it out of this super regional. But
right, that would be inconsistent for you to pick them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Arkansas, man, they are complete, man. They're a complete team, and it's just I'm way too scared to pick them. Just like Ashton said, like the minute I pick them, they're gonna lose. So I've got to go with who I really feel like is a legit shot, even though, gosh, Arkansas is so good. I've been saying the whole time, like Mississippi State, man, you got to look out for them, dude. Mississippi State, I feel like they've got a history like LSU does. They've got a history of having a great baseball program. They have the only two triple crown winners in the SEC. So, like, historically, Mississippi State's a great program. And I feel like it's been a long time coming for them. And this year they are tough. I mean, we beat them in our series with them, but it was in Fayetteville. So, yeah, I'm going with Mississippi State here because they're an SEC team and because they're good. And
yeah,
they tied the SEC West with Arkansas. So if you win the SEC West or even a share of the SEC West, you're a dang good ball team. So,
right. I mean, that's a division that even LSU didn't win.
Exactly.
Like, it's insanely competitive in the SEC West, except for Alabama.
So I got a little bit of a fun fact for you guys. I guess I probably should pull from Mississippi State because I was actually a Mississippi State Bulldog for a season in rec league when I was like in 5th grade. So I was a Bulldog once. So
I'm sorry.
We were actually terrible, but so
good.
So they're not going to win just because y'all were terrible when you were in 5th grade.
I got my hat. I got my Mississippi State hat still. So I mean,
it's an omen. They're not gonna win because of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, JB, your pick's wrong.
That's okay. I hope my pick is wrong. And Ashton hopes his picks are wrong too.
Amen.
So we've got,
Amen.
since a lot of people are split, we've got 2 Mississippi State, 2 Arkansas, and
one LSU.
1 LSU. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Yeah.
And he threw a Vandy in there too. Justin threw a Vandy in there on us too.
Yeah, so, I gotta go with I like Vandy, man.
Yeah, so he said Mississippi State, Arkansas, or Vandy. And so yeah,
I'll be able to make my prediction a little bit more once we get through this next round. Let's get through this round. Let's see who wins.
But that's no fun.
Hey, let's be honest.
It's hard, man.
Let's be honest. When you get to Omaha, all bets are off. It does not matter.
That's absolutely true.
It
Seeds
doesn't
go out
matter
the window.
what seed you are.
Yeah.
You're in Omaha. It does not matter. So
you're right.
I would be interested to see y'all's picks when we do get to Omaha, though.
Hopefully they don't change very much.
I'm
hoping that we got the supers right. Right. That's all that we needed. And then in Omaha, then it turns into a gambling game, right? And then JB will win.
So when does Omaha start? When does the College World Series start?
Next
week. Yeah.
It's next week.
When next week?
Next weekend.
Next weekend.
Yeah, it'll probably start Friday. I haven't looked that far ahead.
Because if y'all cast, then I won't be able to get on. I'll be on vacation, so I'll be.
No, we'll figure something out.
You've got
I'll read your Facebook comments or something.
Yeah, you've got a cell phone, Rob. You can get on the call. You can get on the call.
Yeah, I doubt my parents would love that at 11:30 at night.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Anyway, I think we need to talk a little bit of MLB because
there we go.
Some things have been happening. I'm going to let Justin kick this off for us because we've just made some moves in Atlanta, and as I said, this is a collaborative cast with we have the 3 admins from the Reformed Tomahawk here.
Justin's not an admin yet.
That's true. He's not an admin
He's
yet.
still on probation.
He hasn't earned his stripes.
Earn
So
my stripes.
Well,
yeah.
he's a mod right now.
So what's going on with the Braves right now, Justin?
Well, I'll go ahead and start it off. You know, we first after the draft we missed out on Craig Kimbrell. That hurts a little bit. I've been doing a little bit of research on it. You know, the reason why the Braves passed on that is Craig Kimbrell's fastball, his velocity is kind of dwindling a little bit, and his strikeout rate is going down a little bit. And the biggest thing with Craig Kimbrell is he only pitches 1 inning. And a lot of our struggles hasn't been the 9th inning. It's been, you know, after either the starters completely give up, or Kevin Gausman gives up 8 runs in 2 innings, or Fulte just completely is falling apart. So, yeah, I'd like to have Craig Kimbrell, but our focus really needs to be on starting pitching. We got to eat up a lot of innings first. I mean, one thing is a reliever too. I mean, if you're coming in pitching every single day because your starters can't get out of the 4th inning or the 3rd inning, I mean, we got to work on starting pitching. So, with getting Dallas Keuchel, I think the Braves show that you are. We're competing for a World Series this year. If we didn't get him, within really all hope of a World Series. I know it's early, but we don't have the pitching staff to make it to the postseason. So with getting Dallas Keuchel and having him ready by probably July, I mean, you got 2 of the best pitchers probably in baseball right now. With Mike Soroka is just unbelievable, and then Max Fried is still a young and great pitcher. Julio Teheran stepped it up a lot, and I don't like Julio Teheran, but as a number 3 or number 4 pitcher, I mean he's not bad for that position. And adding Dallas Keuchel to that position, that makes it really hard for somebody to beat us in a series. So that is a huge pickup, and you know, I'm gonna stop there because I know we got Mad Bum coming up, so I think we might get to that later. But I'm gonna stop there for the moment.
Yeah, Rob, you got some thoughts on
so
our latest move?
Yeah, so I love it. I've been saying we need to get him for a while, but I understand why we waited. I would have been fine with getting him at the beginning of the year, though. I think what this does is some people saw the Tomahawk comments, and some people were not thrilled with the fact that we were paying 20 million or a prorated 13 million for the 1 year, and I'm actually okay with it. I'm not thrilled about it, but I think what it shows is that we are willing to make moves. We're not just gonna
Big moves.
that was the thing that really was so frustrating to so many fans, was that the Braves made no offseason moves last offseason. They did absolutely nothing. When teams were racking in stuff, they did nothing. And so far this year, they've made no acquisitions to do any sort of thing. And so to show that they're actually doing something, Keuchel was a great pickup, I think. He's going to bolster the starting lineup, the rotation. You know, if we've got the money, I mean, the Braves have never been about paying for championships. I'm not about that either. But if we got the money, spend what we got to get players that we need. Why just hold it? You know? And so I think it was a good pickup. What were you gonna say, Justin?
I got a question for you. So when Dallas Keuchel gets pulled up within the next month, which pitcher is he going to replace?
That's easy for me right now, Gausman.
Why is that?
Because he's straight trash. He hasn't had a good. I don't remember the last time he had a quality start.
Yeah.
Fulte is off and on. He's
Yeah.
been rough, but at least every now and then he has a quality start.
Yeah.
And so that's an easy question for me personally. I don't. The problem is I don't think that'll happen because I think Fulte still has minor league options where I don't think Gosman does. So it'll more than likely be Fulte. Um, because they're not going to send down Soroka or
No.
Fried. They're pitching way too well.
Yeah.
And Tehran, there's no way they're going to send him down. He's making too much money.
Yeah.
And so I think it'll be Fulte, but I think it should be Gosman.
See, I've read an article that Gosman hasn't. I mean, he's new to the organization, so he hasn't done much for the Atlanta Braves. Fulte, on the other hand, last season he had a great season. This year he's still off and on, but uh, Fulte is still in the chopping block, but his chopping block's not near as huge as Gosman. So I'm interested to see where that leads. And you talked about the Braves not making moves. As a Braves fan, that's frustrating not to see them make moves. But Alex, however you say his last name, uh, he stated when he came to the Braves that a lot of advice he's gotten from other owners is their biggest mistake was coming to a new organization, not knowing who their top players are. Because if he would, if I was to take over the Padres, I ain't gonna know their minor league system, who their top players are. He knew nothing about the Braves coming in, so he's not gonna come in and just ship everybody off. So he wanted to kind of stay stagnant, learn the organization, learn who's
Right.
expendable, who's not, and so I respect that. It's still frustrating as a Braves fan.
Well, I think the frustrating part is not. I agree with you, but the problem is not. You know, he's taking time, but then when you realize that what you need is in your pitching core, you've got the hitting. The hitting's doing well. You've got the fielding. You realize where your weak area is. That's when you start making moves.
Yeah,
And he figured that out. He should have figured that out. Like the off season, I understand him not making the moves, but I'm glad to see that he finally made this move.
yeah,
That's showing that he's learned what area was weak, and he's willing to make moves to fix that.
hmm
Because that was the biggest concern I've heard fans all year talking about. Well, first it was relief pitching. Now it's starting pitching, and I think Keuchel can be that number one starter, that ace that we've been needing. That's been a huge hole. We fill that. We pick up a couple guys in the relief corps, maybe even one, just a veteran to mentor the guys that are young that are struggling.
yeah,
That were supposed to be big prospects. They just haven't
yeah.
developed yet. That's the thing. We got a lot of young guys, but nobody to help develop them other than the coaches. A lot of times that veteran presence helps develop the young guys.
Well, that's why I was
Gives
good
you
getting McCann back because McCann can, as a veteran catcher, catchers call a lot of the games. So having McCann back to um, mentor these young pitchers, that's a
mhm,
huge. You look at the Cubs when they won the World Series, their biggest mentor was David Ross.
David
Oh,
Ross. Yeah,
Rossi. Yeah.
So
love David Ross.
that's why it's good having. Is there better catchers than McCann? Would I'd rather had Kurt Suzuki or JT Realmuto? Yeah, but McCann being back in Atlanta and a veteran, he'd been he's a very good mentor for these younger guys.
Mhm.
And you look, Soroka went tonight. I think it was 8 complete innings, so he ate up 8 innings. So there's only had to be one reliever, one or two
Mhm.
reliever. So that's what helps out when you have a starter that only pitches once every 5 days. It can eat up 8 innings, and you only have one reliever that has to relieve them. That's your picture perfect game right there.
Yeah, on
Mhm.
average, I think he pitches about 7. So
Yeah.
that's a that's that you, if you can get 7 out of a guy, majority of the time, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And but you talk about you mentioned Ramuto, which is kind of interesting because everybody wanted him, but people may forget that Austin Riley was a part of that trade that they wanted him.
Hmm.
I'm so glad we didn't make that trade
Oh yeah, for sure.
because
I
look
mean,
at him now.
he's Austin Riley's challenging all your younger guys right now. I mean, Ozzy's struggling a little bit. I mean, I'm proud of how Dansby's come around. Dansby's had 13 home runs so far and over 40 RBIs. I mean,
Hmm.
that's a great ball player right there. Um, I mean, I know Freeman's still your face of the franchise, but I mean, Acuna's not having the type of season he was having last year. Uh, so I mean, Austin Riley's coming up and really challenging your younger players to step up, and that's I mean it. Your offense all the way around. I mean, it's just look at tonight. We had like what was it 7-1 or something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
we've got. I mean, there's times when we only score one run. That's in baseball when there's 162 games. That's expected. I'm not mad at only scoring one run in a game when there's 162 games. But I mean, you got games like tonight. We scored 7 runs. We've had other games where we scored 10 plus. I mean, we've had what was it 2 or 3 nights ago? We had 2 3-run home runs by Austin Riley, then Josh Donaldson, then Freddie Freeman hit a 2-run home run. I mean, we've got the offense. I mean, I truly believe that the Braves' offense is probably one of the best offenses in the league. I mean, it's hard to doubt that. But we got two of the best young pitchers. So that, like you said, that's really what our focus is. And so, are y'all ready to talk about that? The Mad Bum, Mad Bum
Well,
deal?
no, I got to interject real quick.
All right.
Because y'all were talking about my boy, and I've got to
His
throw,
Arkansas boy.
I got to throw my weight in there, man. I know Rob said that he's been wanting us to get Dallas for a while. I'm pretty sure I've wanted us to get Dallas for longer than any of y'all. I've wanted Dallas Keuchel for 10 years, guys. I've wanted him when he first was drafted from Arkansas. I was like, dude, I want you in a Braves uniform, man. This God, I'm like, y'all don't know how happy I am right now that we made this move. Like, it just brings I can't even explain it. To see anyway. I watched him play in college when I was in college. Yeah, so it's definitely a sentimental thing for me to see him in a Braves uniform, and I mean, anyway, and he's won a Cy Young. I mean, when's the last time we've had a Cy Young winner a winner on our team?
John Smoltz.
John
Yeah.
Smoltz. Yeah, exactly. And is Mad Bum has he won a Cy Young before?
I want to say yes. I don't know for a fact.
I think he has. So then you could say, when's the last time we had two Cy Young Award winners? That was Greg Maddux and Josh
Or Greg
Smoltz.
Maddux.
That was in the 90s, guys. Well, maybe early 2000s. So yeah,
No.
like, like if we got Bumgardner, dude, this would be like the greatest thing ever. But anyway, Dallas Keuchel. A few days ago, I was reading about the possible pitchers who didn't think would be open, and it was Dallas Keuchel and Craig Kimbrell. And they were talking about all the teams that wanted Kimbrell and all the teams that wanted Keuchel. The Braves wanted Kimbrell. They were not on the list for Keuchel. And I was like, I don't want Kimbrell. I want Keuchel. Like, I was saying that the whole time. I want freaking Keuchel. And we got Keuchel. I'm so happy. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm ecstatic. And if we get Bumgardner, it will just be like the icing on the cake. So, Ashton, what do you got for me?
Well, I like the move, but there's not a whole lot that I really can say about it. I don't follow professional baseball as closely as I do college or really any other sports. besides basketball. Professional baseball, I follow more closely than professional basketball. But I do like the move. I like that we're moving toward getting Madison Bumgarner. I hope that works out. And, I think that could be the pieces that put us in the World Series. So here's hoping.
Yep. Alex is going all in, and I like that. That makes me really happy. Because like y'all said, that has been a frustrating thing for me as a Braves fan. The fact that we just don't want to throw money around. Like you said, Rob, I don't want to pay for championships, but spend some money. Like you don't have to
Well-
completely depend on your farm system. You can spend some money every once in a while when you have it. Like, and we just haven't wanted. Huh?
The frustrating thing is that the Braves have had like one of the lowest, compared to the money they have had one of the lowest payrolls. And
Yeah.
it's even less this year than it has been in previous years. It's like, but why? You have all this money that's just sitting there.
I think you're starting to see why that money's sitting there though, because you see Ozzy Albies got signed to a long term
Right.
contract. You saw Acuna get signed to a long term contract, and
But
as much
you
as
were
I
waiting to see those things happen.
Yeah.
It was like, are those going to actually happen? Or are they going to like?
and you
But,
still got
go on.
and you still got more guys that are going to have to sign long term contracts. You got to think Soroka's still on a rookie contract. You got Freed that's still on a rookie contract. They're not making millions right now. You got Dansby Swanson that's still on a rookie contract. So I mean, you still have Austin Riley if he pans out, he's going to have to be paid millions. So you still have at least four guys that are going to be that the Braves fans are going to want to see signed to a long term contract. So yeah, we got a small bankroll right now, but you got players that are playing right now under rookie contracts that I would much rather see. I mean, I like Dallas Keuchel, the 1 year deal. I hope to see him get re-signed. But why you want to like with the Josh Donaldson 1 year, $23 million contract? That to me that was pointless. Why go sign veterans for millions of dollars when we got these rookie guys that are just sensations that we can sign for a 10-year, $100 million contract that we're just literally waiting to sign. So
Yeah.
I think you'll start to see us spend more money on guys, on these younger guys, and build a team off our farm system, and we'll spend a lot of money on them.
Yeah, I'm all about that. It's just my thing is I don't want to go and spend a bunch of money. My thing is like once you build that team, then if you have holes, fill those holes with that money.
Yep.
Right on. That's what we're doing.
That's all. Yeah. And so that's where I'm coming from. And so it's been hard to be patient, but it seems like that's slowly coming together.
So, okay, real quick, we're like pushing over an hour and a half now. Bumgarner, what do y'all think about it? Do you want to spend money? Do you want to try to get him on the? What do y'all think?
So, Justin, do you know how much longer is on his contract with the Giants?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 2 or 3 years. I haven't looked at it.
Yeah.
My thinking with Bumgarner, reading about his no trade clauses, he's got no trade clauses to the Braves, the Yankees, and a couple other teams, like 8 other teams, but or 8 teams total. But I would love to see Mad Bum, and he's been one of my favorite pitchers. I'd love to see him in a Braves uniform. I don't think that's going to happen. You got the Yankees that are more interested in him. I think the Yankees are gonna go after him, and the Yankees will be willing to spend more money on him than we would, and the Yankees would be willing to drain more of their farm system than we would, because I don't think that we're willing to give up the younger pieces that the Giants would want. So that's one thing that concerns me. I would love to get him, and I think that we are definitely going to put some a tempting offer out there. But I think the Yankees are going to make sure they do everything they can to beat what the Braves offer. That's just what I'm getting right now.
So the interesting thing about the his no trade list is from what all I've been hearing is that every single one of those, and not maybe not every single one, but a lot of those, he put on the list as
Because that's
teams
where he
he
wants to
actually wants
go.
to, yeah, because he's
Yeah.
trying to determine where he goes. He actually wants to go to one of those teams.
Yep.
He's just trying to dictate where he goes and how he gets marketed and all that. And I think
Yep.
that's really smart of him. But I don't know that the Braves will get him only because the Braves, if they, I'm afraid the Giants are going to want too much. And about the only thing I'm willing to give up at this point is NCRT.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like NCRT, but he's like the weakest link of like everyone that we've got right now because our farm system is so good that we're not going to give up like Acuna or Albies
No.
um, or Riley or I mean we might be able to get up Marquez, but I don't think they're going to want Marquez.
No.
He's older. I don't think they're going to want to trade for that. They're going to want to trade for the youth of the farm, especially where the Giants are at right now. Like the Giants are bleeding.
Mhm.
They're so down this year, which kind of makes me happy. But anyway, um,
I'm with you though. I
uh,
think Indir Inciarte will be one of the trade pieces because you got coming up. You got Christian Patchy or however you say his name, and then you got Drew Waters. I mean, we got a lot of outfield prospects that are waiting to come up. I love Ender. I mean, you got a Gold Glove in Ender, but you don't have the bat for it. It's just like Angelton Simmons. I mean, he didn't have the bat. I mean, he was, but you had a Golden Glove guy. And in today's baseball time, you would rather give up a Gold Glove winner than
mm,
and trade it for the hits. I mean, you might make an error or two in the outfield, but I mean that's going to give up maybe 1 or 2 runs. I mean, if you have a guy that's going to be driving in 100 RBIs a season plus, that's so much more valuable than a Gold Glove winner in today's sports.
yeah.
So I would like to. I mean, that'd be a good piece to trade is Ender, but I just don't know right now if we're willing to give up what the Giants are going to want to get him. The only thing I think that we've got riding with the Braves right now is he's from North Carolina, and that's the Braves are pretty much right in his backyard. But one thing is, I mean, he's played 2,000 miles away from home for the past 10 years or so. So what would be the difference of going to the
Mm,
Yankees then? So uh,
well,
I I'd like to see him come to the Braves. I don't see it happening right now.
and I would tend to agree with that just because the Yankees have shown historically that they're willing to. What are you laughing at?
Nothing. It's inside joke with Ashton.
Mm, okay, they're
Sorry.
willing to trade away prospects to get the big names or the guys that because they want to pay for championships. So they'll be willing
Yep.
to get whoever they think will work. Which anyway, so I think that they'll give away more than the Braves will. So I can
Do
see
you,
that being
do
the
you
case.
realize the teams that win the World Series have one of the highest paid salaries in baseball? I mean, it is very rare that a team that win the World Series doesn't have a high paying salary on their or a player salary on their team. So I mean, really, the saying, if you want to win a World Series, you have to buy it. Uh,
Well, but I would agree and disagree with that because look at how it's worked with the Yankees. They haven't won one, and I mean they haven't really won many lately. And I think I would agree with that to an extent. Like I think what the Braves are doing is great because they're getting a farm system, and then if you pay people on top of that farm system, and you pay into your farm system, like you pay the guys that are sitting around, like your Acuñas and Albies and guys like that, then you are paying. You're going to have a high contract, but it's not coming from paying guys that are 37 years old. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like just because they're veterans, just
yeah.
and then paying them, you know, 20 million a year, all of them that much money, you know. So it's all kind of a weighted thing, but I think the way that the Yankees are in it, yeah, they're top the AL East right now. But
Yeah. They're on
then-
top of the AL East, and they got like 9 guys on the DL. So that's
But-
insane.
then again, they're also not the. They also don't have the best record. Somehow the Twins, isn't it? I think.
No,
Who was it?
the Twins, I think, actually have the
Yeah, That's
the
what I'm
highest,
saying.
the
I
best
think.
record right
Yeah.
now.
Which is like way out of where? Like where'd they come from? But
No, I don't know. So what about this, if y'all don't mind? What about or actually, you didn't tell us about the Mad Bum. What's your thoughts with Mad Bum?
JB, if you can quit laughing with your inside jokes. I don't know.
Sorry, guys. I tried to unmute you, dude.
Oh, the Dodgers have the best record in baseball.
He's muted. There he is. Okay. There's not an inside joke. We're getting some feedback from Ashton, so I was muting him, and he thought I was just being racist.
Well, you said earlier
Racist.
inside joke. You
Yeah,
literally said the words inside joke. So.
I'll tell you about it later. Well, I was muting him, and he was unmuting, and I was muting, and he was unmuting. Like he didn't get the hint that I'm getting feedback from him, so I didn't want
it
to
lasted
hear.
a while.
It was going on forever. I kept muting him, and he kept unmuting, and that's why I kept
Heard
laughing.
it. I just ignored it and kept going.
So anyway, yeah, Ashton, do you have anything to add about the Bumgardner thing?
Yeah, just that I want to see that it'll go through. But you know, the reason I don't follow professional baseball very closely is because it's so disappointing. So yeah, I don't have my hopes up because as soon as I get my hopes up, then we suck again. So, I want it to happen, hoping it goes through. But yeah, I'm not the most optimistic about this.
Yeah, I understand, and that's how I am. Like as a Braves and Arkansas and Cowboys and Memphis Grizzlies fan, I tend to just not get my hopes up too much for any sport.
Well, one of those teams has a pretty good history, but
yeah, but it's been 20 years. It's been 20 years
Yeah.
for any of them. Well, even Arkansas basketball has a good history, but yeah, it's been a long time for anyway.
So real quick, what do y'all think about the Braves draft picks? Real quick, I want to know what y'all think about the catcher and then the 2 shortstops the first day. What's y'all's thoughts on that?
Huh?
The Braves, they got
picks.
the draft picks, the catcher, and then the 2 shortstops.
I like the draft picks. I really do. The shortstops from Texas A&M, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I like that pick. I don't know how they're going to use him though, because we've got a pretty solid infield, and yeah, I'm kind of curious about what they're going to do there, and who they're gonna not go all in on. But I do like the pick. I really do. I think he'll be good. Of course, you never know that you might need somebody to call up. So you never know what's going to happen. But with the catcher, I really like the catcher. I'm a big fan of that. So
I like getting the catcher because I think we're gonna need in 2 to 3 years. I think we're gonna need a long-term catcher, and so getting a high pick could turn out well. I'm not real big on the. We got what 2 shortstops, which
2
I don't really
shortstops.
understand. I don't really understand that logic, but I'm not real big on that anyway because I'm afraid of what that could mean. I'm afraid that we might end up dealing Dansby in a blockbuster trade
Yep.
and using those 2 shortstops as a legit like a justification for that.
Yeah.
Because what they'll do while they're waiting for them to make it to the big leagues, if they do deal Swanson, they'll put like Culberson or Camargo at short for the time being. which they not saying that neither one of them would fit in it short, but I'm afraid to get rid of Swanson, especially
Yeah.
the way he's playing right now.
So yeah, I have a feeling that one or two things are going to happen with these draft picks. So first off, the catcher. That's like you said. That's with McCann. He's older. Tyler Flowers is older. Uh, yeah, we're going to need a long term catcher coming up, and that guy he would have been the number one catcher in this draft if it wasn't for that guy from Oregon State. He's just insane. But I'm I'm great with this. I'm glad with this with the catcher pick. My two thoughts on the shortstops, guys, are first round draft picks. They're going to be used as trade bait. Hopefully, they're probably going to grow in the farm system, do good, and use them as trade bait. I don't think they're going to be here long term. That's my first thought. Or like you said with the Dansby Swanson thing, they're gonna use them as a blockbuster trade. They're gonna say they're gonna maybe trade him for like an ace pitcher, something like that, and use these two shortstops to come up and replace him. That's gonna kill me to see that happen. But I think that could possibly because Dansby Swanson is the only infielder right now that's not signed to a long term contract, and so that makes me nervous. But I don't think they're going to get rid of Dansby. He's an Atlanta boy. Big support there. I don't think they're going to get rid of him, but I think ultimately they're going to use it as a trade chip. They're going to they're going to trade their either going to make them a top prospect and they're going to probably trade it for some pitchers or something like that. I think they're going to be used as a trade chip almost.
I got you. So what I got from all of that is Atlanta is pretty good, and Arkansas and LSU are very good, and Georgia and Alabama suck. And I still love y'all a lot.
Not feeling it, but
not feeling it.
Just wait till the fall.
Just wait till the fall because that's the only time. That's the only time of the year that an Alabama fan is happy is in the fall. So I'm sorry. Anyway, Ashton, do you have anything to add to the fact that LSU and Arkansas are both good, and I cannot unmute you unless you can do it yourself? There you go.
Not really. I mean, that pretty much sums it up.
Okay.
I don't think that you drove the point home enough, though. Georgia sucks. So, all right. Very thankful for Georgia sucking.
But
now we can play Florida State in Baton Rouge. We don't have to go to Athens. So that's nice. So thank you.
True. That's true.
Thank you, Georgia.
But then I also didn't drive home the fact that Alabama was like 1 in 1,000 this year in baseball.
Let me pull this up real quick.
Alabama did not even make it to the SEC tournament. Well, let me tell you what happens. There's 16 teams in the SEC, and 14 of them go to the tournament. Alabama was not one of them.
Slightly higher win percentage than the percentage of Native American Elizabeth Warren is.
So listen to this statistics just real quick. So Alabama's overall record was 30-26. So in conference, we were 7-23. So that means we were 23-3 out of conference.
I'm glad that you guys can beat St. Mary's College of the Blind.
Yeah,
I'm really happy for you. Yeah, that's a good job.
Because other than that, we can't.
And Action's beating down on Georgia because they lost their own regional, but forgetting the fact that they were a number 4 overall seed.
Yeah, but
with
you know what?
Year.
Seeds don't matter. Anyway,
regular seasons do.
That's true. Maybe next year Georgia should not spend so much time focusing on the regular season and just prepare to turn it on in the month of May and June, because that's what happens to teams that win.
No, but seriously, I'm very glad that we don't have to play Georgia.
I am too.
Very, very glad.
I am too. I am too. But anyway.
Hey, I'm not good. I'm very much aware that we botched it. I'm not trying to say that we didn't. But I'm just saying that we had a good team.
Georgia's a good
That's all
team,
I'm saying.
guys. Georgia is a good team. I'm glad we don't have to play them, but they're not good enough to,
Advance.
advance. So anyway, it's been a good cast. We have discussed a lot of college baseball and MLB baseball. Actually, really, we just discussed the Braves because the rest of MLB sucks.
True.
So anyway, you got the Braves and you got the SEC. That's all that matters in baseball world. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. I'm glad to have you with us, Justin. And Johnny Mack, I don't know where he went. He ducked out. I'm glad
He got
Ashton.
tired.
I'm glad this guy Ashton that I just met could join us. It's been real.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. So I gotta say, remember, brothers, to let your light shine before men, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. And we'll see you in the tavern.